folks, welcome to another edition of the Luthier's Lair, and this is part 9 of Project Boris, aka the gas-bass quintessence bass guitar. In this episode we're going to get the body into its final shape and make some decisions about battery compartments, yes, because it's going to be an active bass, of course. So let's dive right into that without much further ado, as they say. Hiya. Yeah, so after all that machine sanding, I've got the contour sort of roughed in to like 150 grit. The rest is going to be hand sanding this contour until I get it just the way I want it. The neck fit is spectacular, and of course, you know, this is just mock up right now. See if everything's fitting okay, everything looks okay. Now that I've got everything test fitted for the first test fit ever of this bass, and I must say I'm very, very happy with it. I'll probably post some shots later of certain parts of the end grain, and might do some beauty shots after it's made. I think it's probably the best thing to do. But very happy with it so far. Funnily enough, well, not funny, but it's actually quite a bit lighter than my JD, and lighter than any Alembic Series 1 I've held, and that's the black limber primarily that's responsible for that. And there's still some weight to come off, of course, with the comfort carve, the belly carve, all that stuff still needing to be done. But once I get this contour the way I want it, then I'll be rounding off the edges with a router bit on the routing table, make it all nice and flowing and kind of organic, and then we will get to the carves that need to be done before starting final sanding and getting the grain filled on this black limber and the little wormholes fixed up. Cool. It's looking a bit like a bass guitar now, isn't it? I think so. So, Boris has just been on the routing table to get all the contours sort of bull-nosed in. I've made the videos about that before. It's just as plain and simple, put it on the routing table with the correct bull-nose bit. Go around the edges, be very careful, especially when you cut bits like that. You don't want bull-nosing right into where the neck pocket lies. You want to just stop short of there and then finish that off by hand. Then the bit has a ball bearing in the top that you use for a guide, and invariably in my experience I've found that the ball bearing will leave a mark in the sides of the base of the body. So we need to sand all that out. So I start off with 100 grit, and I do that by hand. I start off with 100 grit, get all those marks out, and then go around it again, including the bull-nosed edges down to about 220 grit. And there's a little rough patch there still, and you can actually feel when things are okay and when they're not okay. That's just one bit there. That should be that out. The roughness, and it's right there. So a bit more. Don't worry, it's not going to lose shape just with that amount. That's it, gone. So it's all very smooth right now. 220 is quite smooth. I'll probably take the whole lot down to 320 before I start finishing it. However, I still have the truss rod adjustment cavity to cut, and on the back I have the battery box cavity to cut. Like I said, I did make a template for that, but I'm going to wait for this battery box, a GOTO, it's a GOTO battery box, to come in, just to verify that my dimensions are correct. Always better to wait until you have the piece in hand. You can only trust published specifications so much. So anyway, he's looking rather handsome now. Cool. So, I don't know if you remember, but in a previous episode, it might not have been, but it might have been, I'm losing track of this build. Yeah, I said that I was waiting on a battery box coming, you know, a dual battery box by GOTO, G-O-T-O-H, you know, the nice guys who deliver really quality, good stuff, tuners and all that sort of stuff. I love GOTO and I do work with them closely, and they gave me a spec to build this router template with. So why have I got this? Well, I'm going to show you. The box came today. That's the battery box, dual 9-volt, one for the pickups, one for the LEDs, and let's see if it fits. Ready? Let's go. And that was to their spec. Of course, I'm stopping short of the wires. I don't want to break the wires off, you know. So yeah, it does fit, but it's kind of tight. I do like a little bit of slack so I can maneuver. So we just take this and we go. One. Two. Oh. I see the problem. Here we go. Three. And last one. Looks like I'm playing a short fiddle, doesn't it? I'd usually do this in the vise, but you know, it makes for good entertainment, you know. 4, right? So yeah, let's see now. Yeah, that's the front panel going that way, and now it fits nice. It was just a gnat's chuff off. Yes. I was going to say something else, but that would be most disagreeable. I'll probably take a little bit more off actually, but I'll do that in the vise just to show you. You know, sometimes manufacturer specifications are good, sometimes they're bad. This one is a little too tight for my liking, and I don't want to put Vaseline all over it to slip it in and stuff. You know where I'm going with that. Anyway, back soon. Okay, you have the GoTo battery box. You know, I filed down the template right without the cavity. Now there is a problem with a ledge here where that can be filled. It might interfere with the pickup screw. It looks like it might not. That'll be okay. That's fine. Everything's good. Let's thread this through. And of course I drilled 2 holes through the body there with extra long drill bits. Actually I'll show you what I did because I lost the footage for that. But I'll show you, hold on, I'll show you the drill bits. This is my pilot hole drill bit. This is the bit that makes the actual hole. Very long, and what you do is you put a cloth or something that won't destroy the wood on top of the wood, and then you drill through as parallel as you can get it. And what you end up with is a nice channel there. So let's thread this through, shall we? Okay. Nice and gentle. See if it fits. Oh, I like a glove. There we go. So we're good with that. Now, well, now it's time to sand down the body to an appreciable grit, probably 320 or 400. Then we'll get this grain sealed. Thus begins the finishing process. Awesome. So, sanded down to 320 grits now. All masked off, ready to have the first coat of stain. I've chosen the this Bare water-based, fast-drying wood stain. Dries within an hour, but I'll usually leave it a day after I've done the whole lot, just to see what it's like. And the colour is butter pecan. So this is how it kind of turns out on the scrap. So it's noticeably darker, which will make the centre pop quite a bit. So let's go ahead. Let's take a lint-free cotton rag and, oops, sorry folks, getting in your way there, and apply. Just apply it. Don't be scared. Now I did burnish this tape down, you know, with a pencil eraser to make sure that I don't get any bleed through it. Just, you know, you can even it up after the fact. It takes a little while to dry, so just go over it like that. You can see that grain really coming out now. Really impressive grain in this black lumber. Indeed. There she pops. Move around the sides a little bit here, just to blend in. Now you can see there's a big difference now. Big difference in the wood. So I'm going to go ahead, get all that done, and we'll come right back. Well folks, that's it for part 9. In part 10, hopefully we'll start to stain the body of the base and try and get it prepped for, you know, grain filling, clear coat, all that nice stuff. So coming along pretty well so far. We'll get there. And yeah, so just before I go, I'd like to remind you that if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so to the channel here, so that I can continue to make these wonderful videos of building bass guitars and all sorts of other things. Yeah, and then, you know, give me a thumbs up, that really helps, and click that bell for notifications of when I upload new content. Yeah, thanks very much, helps out. But until then,
you know, stay safe, be good, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks very much again for watching. Cheers, folks. Bye-bye.